Hello everyone, I am here again with another video of me talking about stuff. And I had intention to make, or ideas, a lot of ideas to make a lot of videos about a lot of stuff. And yeah, it's very frustrating that I didn't manage to shift my attention to it, but I want to change it. And one of the things that I would like to talk about is also channeling and kind of like debunking channeling. And it's a very big topic. And so, yeah, when I am thinking about a lot of stuff, like I get inspiration. I am thinking and thinking and so on, and not writing anything down. And then when I would like to maybe or have a space to record something, inspiration doesn't come that easily as when I am, for example, walking somewhere outside and so on, or randomly during the day. But recently I got a question from someone and that fits very well into this topic, that I can just take a certain part of it and about channeling and talk about that part. So maybe later I would record some other videos about it and from like talking about it from other angles. So if you have some questions, for example, about channeling, you can ask me in the comments, or if what I am going to be speaking about will inspire you to ask something additional or something like that in that sense, then of course you can ask for more clarification as well, or so I will record another videos when there will be enough inspiration flowing for it. And so the question that someone asked me was that this person was like in a process of like opening up spiritually, energetically, and being interested in channeling himself. And he was having, like when you don't have that much of like your personal experience yet, or you didn't discover how you channel yourself, um, and seeing other channelers from just outside, basically, and how they want to appear, it can bring up certain, like blockages, that how you perceive it maybe is not the way it really happens, and so it's blocking you to maybe open up, and that you have some worries. And the worry was, and this is also what I was going through before, like many years ago, like my thought in 2013 was this thing that like when I discovered channeling in 2013, and it was Bashar, of course, then I was like, yeah, I was looking at him and I was like, I wouldn't like to let some being to take over me like that. So that was the thought that I had. So I never was really into channeling, like doing it myself, and that's because I didn't really know, I guess, what it was, what the path would be, and also how I would be doing myself, and not just like how I would be doing, but how I was already doing it. So it's about discovering how it really feels for you, and also, if you have a certain wish or like a resistance towards something around it. Maybe it means that it's not how it will be happening to you, or that's not how it's even happening. So in that sense, I when I this when I went through my own journey and also observing other channelers, I came into conclusion that nobody is taken over, even Bashar, or I mean Daryl with the Bashar, because a lot of it is in many cases acting. Sometimes channelers want to appear in a certain way to make you believe they are more in trance than they are, and it's for you, making you to trust them more, like a validity of the information. And I don't know, that is a red flag in my opinion. And anyway, it still doesn't mean that some information cannot be valuable, or that person is not channeling at all. So that's not what I'm saying. But the only one that I experienced that is kind of like being taken over by entities is Rob Gauthier, when I was having sessions with him and could feel like how Shayla was coming through him. And also how he basically disconnects from his conscious mind. I think he was the only one that I encountered that is going into most like a unconscious state while channeling. I'm not sure like how he is with it right now, because a while ago when I watched some interview with him, he also was saying that he was experiencing getting still more and more conscious during channeling. But most of the channelers, and I think newer ones, are going to be conscious channelers, and I am like completely conscious channeler. Although, you know, like when I'm channeling, for example, I don't really, you know, I focus that much on like delivering or feeling everything what is coming through, that I don't really focus, or I don't put any energy into trying to remember. So of course afterwards it may seem like I am almost like a trance channeler, because I don't remember later in few weeks ago, for a few weeks afterwards, or months, I don't remember anything. Well, not in months, like maybe even like a week ago, week after that, I don't remember anything, you know. But that's because it just, you know, I am in a position of just really someone who is, you know, delivering something that you are asking from someone else. So I'm medium basically, and you know, it's not for me, it's for you. So I don't need to keep that information basically. And I have my own life, my own experiences that I still also need to, you know, like process and stuff. So that it's not important for me to remember it. And so about this being taken over, so my response to that was also that, you know, immediately how I am talking about this stuff is talking about my own experiences and my own process, you know, going through it. So yeah, I didn't feel like I would like to be taken over by other beings, but it's that, you know, it cannot even happen, I would say, even with the rope, for example, because they, like when you are channeling good beings, benevolent beings, or even like less benevolent, let's say, like maybe some reptilians who are slightly negative and so on, they still, I don't think they, you know, would like to take over you completely. Only thing that would like to kind of like take over you are energetic suckers, kind of like, you know, like beings from lower dimensions, lower astral planes, and those are actually like interfering with the humans, even non-channeling ones, all the time, because they are trying to, you know, yeah, but basically steal your energy, and they are doing it by trying to stay most invisible for you, so you don't discover them. They are, for example, influencing your thoughts and emotions, and trying to make you do wrong things for yourself, and not do those who will be basically pulling you away from the vibration in which they can control you basically. So when you are rising your vibration and doing just the best for yourself, and really being in control, and having strong boundaries and so on, like being empowered, it's impossible for you to be taken over by someone who would like to control you. So again, like it can feel like the idea, it can feel uncomfortable, even when you would imagine some positive being, let's say, I don't know, Pleiadians. They are usually pictured as something positive and benevolent beings, beautiful and so on. So even in that sense, you could feel weird, because like why you could be letting stranger into your body, of course. Yeah, and that is the problem, like or the issue of this question. You are not getting like through any stranger. You know, like when you are opening up to channeling, you are opening up also to the interconnectedness of everything. and you don't feel that those energies are alien to you. And this is like, I would say, usually, I guess how it happens is that first those who is approaching you first, like who you have like maybe agreement to start channeling, or who would like to connect with you more in that sense, is someone who is very personal to you. It could be other version of yourself. It could be, for example, like with me, Shayla. Well, she is basically still other version of me in a sense, but we have very intimate and uh, I don't know, like I don't have words to describe it, like a so deep connection that's when I was opening up to her and her love, and you know when you really feel them, they share themselves with you, so you can feel their intentions, you can feel their love, their support and everything. There is just amazing amount of trust that you would be feeling, especially with those who are really loving beings. I don't know like how it could feel like maybe with some slightly negative beings who are not also like necessarily wanting to take over you. They can also share some interesting information, but yeah, still that the trust comes through so strongly that you don't feel alien from them, and so that is it, like basically the answer. And then like when you start like merging with them and letting them come through, yeah, it's also based on like how much you can basically understand them as well, trusting them. The trust is important, for opening up, and trusting them comes from understanding more their nature. So basically just knowing each other more, having more experiences, asking for like giving you more, like also what you have to go through to unlock, so you can perceive them without being triggered with your past trauma or programming and some negative and I don't know, like whatever, blockages or programming and stuff. So yeah, it's a cycle, that you could go through. Well, not could, but it's definitely there that it would be happening. But yeah, it's again like when you are connecting with let's say this kind of being like Shayla, for example, is, or Yahyel, they really are taking it as a personal connection as well. It's a very, yes, and this is also what I wanted to say, it's a very personal and private for them as well. Of course they can like communicate or come through other beings as well. Of course I didn't channel just Shayla, for example, from Yahyel rays at least. And when I connected with her, and I opened up to her, and other beings can come through me much easier. It's all about trust, and understanding them, and also their trust towards you. Because if someone is like from different race, I channeled some sarsars, well, tall whites, they're called tall whites, and just one of them, and she at first was like, I was questioning my own ability, like if I am not able to connect with her or something. But later, as things progressed, in the first session she was just keeping away somewhat from me, because it's also their nature. For example, they are very cautious of other beings or people especially, and so she was not coming through properly, and I was enough open, I was inviting her, but she was holding back. But after that, immediately, almost immediately after the session, I was feeling her coming even stronger, and like she was sharing with me like that, yeah, exactly what I was not sure about, that she was holding back somewhat, and that she trusts me now more, like when she saw like how I am channeling, how I am translating information and so on. So after that she was more confident to come through me as well, and so, to also, because it's also about their comfort level, like how they would merge with you. So with the Shayla, like we don't have any boundaries, for example, with each other, and so we have like infinite trust. So that's very, easy, and also, for me, that process of learning, not really how to channel, but realize how I was already connected with her, and I was already channeling her in many ways before. Like I started automatic writing before, and even before automatic writing, when I really felt that channeling started to open up for me. Even before that, I had certain moments when I looked back, I recognized her energy there, like that she was coming through, for example. And so when you connect with someone like this, who is other version of yourself, with who you have a very strong connection for information and energetic exchange that you already had, like most of your life, there was already, you just have to realize it, and just make that connection even more conscious, basically, and realize that you don't have to feel like worry about letting being come through, because you already have that connection, or you had it, so you just will have different experience of it. And these beings, they're usually very loving. They are still also your guides, like spirit guides, not or extraterrestrial guides or whatever. It's for me spirit and that realm is everything, like almost the same. I don't separate it much, because even extraterrestrial, they are still in a vibrations that are higher than us, no physical or different shifted reality. So everything invisible is basically kind of like a spirit world for me. So yeah, I kind of like lost track of what I was saying, but yeah. So yeah, it's about trust, and I don't know like what I said last. So this is also one thing that I was like thinking about, telling about, like what are my issues, like why I was not sharing enough, or videos, like why I was not able to manage my time to create more. But yeah, I will see, like if I this is also about my comfort level, that like if I want to share about it or not more. So let's see. But it's connected with ADHD, so this is like what happened right now. I just got distracted. so yeah, when I was connecting with the Shayla, yes, I wanted to speak about like learning to understand how I was already channeling her, how those feelings was already inside of me, but I just thought that they were me. So basically, learning to channel her, or getting in better in channeling her, was for me to actually distinguishing between me and her. It was not that much of of course there is like a great development that also happens after you start doing it, but still the where it started, and biggest part of it was really to, or that base, like starting point, that's took a while to realize or learn, was to realize that feelings that I was having inside of me was not mine, or were not mine, but it was hers, and this is like how I was channeling her. Basically, when she was delivering me feelings, it always was arising in me, inside of me, like this is what I am thinking, this is what I am feeling, and so on. And when I was allowing to feel it, it started to open up the channel even more and more, and more energy and information through energy was coming through. And what helped me to understand, like what I was feeling and perceiving, because I was having these meditations with her, when I was like just receiving a lot of energy, or I thought that I was projecting towards her, that I was doing that, but it was really what she was delivering to me, was that I had like a channeling session with some friend that I felt that could channel her, and he was having different channeling style than, for example, Rob, and I couldn't learn enough from how Rob was channeling her, for example. And when I was having session with him once, he basically was perceiving or channeling in a very similar way that I am doing it, and I would say, yeah, like very similar. So it helped me because he was perceiving us separately, and he was seeing what she was doing to me, and she was describing me a lot of stuff that I was experiencing before, just inside of me in some kind of like a trance space, energetic, like a kind of like our vortex that we merged together. And so he was seeing what she was doing energetically around me, and I realized, okay, so this was not me doing it, it was her. And after that I was able to shift my channeling in a different way. That when I was meditating with her, I first tried to get all the feelings, like this is how I would like to approach her, what I'm talking about, mostly about intimate stuff, but it's just energy like arising within me, and feeling literally like how I would like to touch her, how I would like to move around her, and all those kind of things. So I would let it come through the most way that I could, like let those feelings arise in me. And when I kind of like was full of them, like vibing with them, then I imagine, like I projected it, like I turned her, like us, because yes, what I was doing, like when I was feeling these things, I was imagining that I was doing those things to her. But then when I was in that moment of like really vibing with all those feelings and movements, energy movements, I turned the vision. Basically, I moved myself outside of it, and like it was me who was receiving it, and she was delivering it to me. That so much amplified energy, for example. So yeah, I expanded this topic quite a lot in different ways. But yeah, this is what that question reminded me to speak about. Like, that's those feelings, like that you have maybe worries of like letting someone to control you. It's something that you. I would say channeling is not that easy. Let's say you can't really let someone to possess you completely just like that. It happens maybe in the movies, when you get possessed by a demon or something and flying close to ceiling. But yeah, it's really, you are opening a channel. It's the I don't believe that it can happen suddenly or something like that. You will have to work for it, and especially with beings like Yahyel, for example, and positive ones. And again, as I was speaking or talking about it in the beginning, that there are negative beings who would like to influence you. Basically, this way of channeling as well, because it's all about opening up certain portals within your energetic field, expanding and opening up and so on. And those, for example, are leaking in weird ways, as I described. It can be like it's like they really are trying to seem like they are not doing it, basically. So they are hiding. Positive beings are not hiding, that that they are doing it. They are coming to you naked, basically. They are energetically naked, so you can feel them. You have to basically get naked as well, so you can merge. And So these beings are just really hiding. They are hiding that they are in a certain way influencing you, controlling you, and it rarely happens that they would just overtake you suddenly, because again, if they would overtake you, that would mean that they would basically reveal themselves to you. If that happen, like that can happen, I know people who basically are still basically unconscious of it, but they are channeling these kind of beings, is because they have been in a very negative vibrations for a long time, and they were feeding some false egos and so on. So and really letting or believing what this kind of like thoughts, like thoughts implants they are implanting certain thoughts to you, like that you are in some ways not worthy. It's just all the negative, and I don't want to go into specific stuff, but all the negative thoughts about yourself, or what, or being suspicious of other people where is not appropriate, for example. Those are, of course, it can come from traumas as well, but this is again like they are using your weak points, also your trauma. So they are basically amplifying your weak points, like where you would believe that okay, you are maybe ugly, or you are not lovable, or uh, whatever, this kind of, or not talented, that you are piece of shit or something like that. That these are also all the signs that you are being influenced by some negative beings. And dangerous about it is like when, for example, this is okay, I'm this is okay, this is a huge topic, and I'm not sure like okay if I want to open it up again or right now, but yeah, just in short, like what I discovered is good to actually externalize this, like that it is not you, because when you admit yourself that those are external beings, you get pissed off, or if you are normal, I would say, you get pissed off that someone was interfering with you like this, and you should, that is empowering when you are able to say stop. And when you are not allowing yourself to externalize this, that it's not you, those negative feelings and thoughts, you're basically accepting them. And we are taught that we should be basically gentle with ourselves, and especially in spiritual community, that we should be gentle and accepting and not so hard on ourselves. We should be loving ourselves, so we should be loving those negative thoughts and so on. No, that's a very toxic thing. And also when you are opening up to channeling, it can be dangerous for, if you are not properly aligned. If you have these weak points, you definitely have to be very careful about like really working on yourself. So you work on those weak points, because those weak points, even when we are opening up to positive being like Yahyel, or I don't know, some positive Pleiadians, I guess there are some negative, I can imagine there are some negative Pleiadians as well, but so you have to also work on yourself, and that will make your channeling better and not destroy you basically energetically and stuff like that. So yeah, again, like if you are enough introspective and not having too much of like unworthy programming that you are taught to basically escape facing it. So if you are able to face also parts of yourself, that are weak, maybe seen weak, then you have a good chance of like overcoming it, and going through it, and also your positive guides would be able to help you as well, but you really have to, also just admit yourself that okay, that there can be some negative influences as well, and you are that bad, that some, or not bad, like let's say inadequate, or I'm not sure if I pronounce it well, that some negative beings can influence you. And that's what I say, like, this is real. I experienced that it's very easy or probable for, like, you to lose your track, and especially when you are opening up energetically, and these kind of beings like interfering with you, going up and down, like when something is pulling you down, is again like even like wanting these things can even influence like your tastes, like if thoughts, and not just thoughts, like craving for something that is unhealthy and that would lower your vibration even more, keep you in a sick state, and so on. So yeah, what I would be afraid would be more of like this kind of stuff. But again, like, I'm talking about it to basically warn you, but not to scare you, just to know, make it conscious, because when something is conscious, basically, then you know, like, that you have something to work with. It's your choice, like what you will do with it, so yeah. And this kind of like when you would go into mode that is more negative and being influenced, they can even confuse you to the degree that you cannot properly remember like how to get out of it. You cannot even remember that you could be an influence, and so on. So it can be really messy. But yeah, if you are able to do spiritual work, inner work, and to be honest with yourself, really, or really honest, and not blind, not wanting to be blind, then yeah, I guess you are set up pretty good for success with the channeling. And yeah, of course, like doing it mostly for yourself, or not really mostly, it's really base of it is that you want to just expand yourself, not doing it like to I don't know, feed your ego again, because there are some people who also may want to go into that to basically get attention from the people. And so yeah, of course you can want to do it for other people, but again, as a service, like really service, without the ego that you want to, I don't know, get famous or something in that sense, because then it's again like telling that you maybe not align properly, and that will again attract more negative beings into your field, and so on. So it's very important to really look inside yourself, and so on. So I expanded this a lot, and this is what I was saying in the beginning, that I have a lot to say about it, and many things are so interconnected that it's just a lot of stuff. That's why I didn't make many videos so far, because there is so much, like when I start thinking about this kind of stuff, other things pop up, in my mind, and, it's just so interconnected, and so on. So I don't know, like, I have some other ideas for other topics to talk about, and also to do some channeling in upcoming weeks, posted on YouTube. So yeah, if again like this topic of channeling will arise, I will continue with some explanation and so on. And definitely, if you have some questions that you would like to get more clarification on, like about channeling, then write it in the comments, and that will definitely help me to like get some specific topic again, like what I could talk about, and then go on tangent from there. so thank you for watching. This wasn't that long video as usually. It's still long, but yeah. So thank you for watching, and I will be looking forward to making more videos for you, and maybe inspiring you to understand certain things that you have been feeling already, but maybe just connecting some dots for you, and so on. So that's what is exciting me about doing this. So thank you very much for being with me in this journey, and so see you next time. Bye bye.